Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into the powerful opening of Khushwant Singh's classic novel, Train to Pakistan. And this story kicks off in a summer that was anything but ordinary. A summer when all of northern India was either armed, terrified, or in hiding. So let's get right into it. The novel doesn't ease you in gently. Nope. It just drops us right into a searing portrait of a nation on fire. It plunges us into a summer that felt fundamentally, well, apocalyptically wrong. Right away, the author hits you with this feeling of oppressive dread. And look, this isn't just a weather report, right? It's a sign that the natural order of things, the very rhythm of life, has been totally and violently broken. It was so bad, people actually started to think that God himself was punishing them for their sins. And, they had good reason to feel that way. The country was being torn in two, Hindu India and Muslim Pakistan, and the violence that erupted was just unimaginable. We're talking about a human catastrophe on a scale that's hard to even wrap your head around. By the time the rains finally came, nearly 1 million people were dead. On top of that, 10 million people, let that sink in, 10 million Hindus, Muslims, and Sikhs were forced to flee their homes. They were on foot, in carts, crammed into trucks, literally clinging to the roofs of trains. A massive, terrifying migration, all fueled by pure terror. But here's where the story does something really interesting. It pulls the camera back from this huge, epic tragedy and zooms way, way in on this one tiny, forgotten village right on the new border, a place that, for now, has somehow escaped all the madness. And that brings us to Mano Majra. See, life here isn't run by the roar of politics from far-off cities. It moves to a different beat altogether, the steady, predictable rhythm of the railway. I mean, check this out. In Mano Majra, Sikhs and Muslims have been neighbors for centuries. Their lives are completely woven together. The Sikhs own the land, the Muslims farm it, and they all pray at the same local shrine. It's this tiny little pocket of harmony. And here's the really cool part. The thing that runs their lives isn't the sun or the seasons. It's the train schedule. Seriously, the mail train at dawn, that's their alarm clock. It gets them up for morning prayers. The midday express is their lunch bell. And the goods train that rumbles by at night, well, that's their signal to go to sleep. It's this amazing symbol of order in a world that's spiraling into chaos. And then you get this line. Just a few words, but wow, do they hit hard. It's the moment the narrator just pulls the rug out from under you, letting you know that the peaceful, train-set rhythm of Mano Majra is about to be shattered. And yup, shattered it is. But the chaos doesn't arrive the way you might expect. It's not a politician giving a speech or a convoy of refugees. It's just a single violent act in the dead of night. What happens is a gang of dacoits, basically professional bandits, shows up in the village, and they've got one person in their sights, Lala Ramlal, the village's only Hindu moneylender. The whole village hears it all, the commotion, the screams, a gunshot, but everyone is paralyzed with fear. Not a single person makes a move to help. And after the murder, the dacoits toss a bundle of broken glass bangles into a specific courtyard. It's a huge insult, basically calling someone a coward. But here's the twist. The guy they were insulting, this village gangster Juggut Singh, he wasn't even home. At the exact moment the murder was happening, he was off having a secret, forbidden romance with a Muslim girl. So he has a perfect alibi, but it's an alibi that he can never, ever use because of honor and shame. So what happens next? Well, this is where you start to see the whole system of justice just completely fall apart. And it's our first real look at a key theme in the book. When society gets chaotic, the institutions meant to protect you start to rot from the inside out. The police, they're not looking for the truth. They're just looking for an easy answer. And this is where two very different worlds collide. The police arrest two guys. First, there's Juggut Singh, our local outlaw. He's a known troublemaker, the obvious scapegoat. And then there's Iqbal, a social worker from the city who literally just got off the train after the murder even happened. He's a total outsider who has no idea what kind of trap he's just walked into. So yeah, the police aren't after the truth. They just grab the most convenient targets. And what they do to Iqbal is it's so awful. The sub-inspector is suspicious of this educated stranger, so he has him stripped. He sees he's circumcised and immediately jumps to a conclusion. He must be a Muslim agitator. And just like that, they invent the entire charge sheet based on pure religious prejudice. So you can see, this arrest is way more than just one injustice. It's a symptom of a much bigger sickness that's finally starting to infect this little oasis of peace. The systems that are supposed to protect people are failing, and now the village is completely vulnerable. And a thing that brings that sickness right to their doorstep? It's the train. Remember how it was their clock, this symbol of order? Well, that is about to be transformed into an omen of absolute horror. This is the chilling reality that's been unfolding just outside the village. And with this final, horrifying detail, the full weight of the novel's title just slams into you. The trains aren't carrying passengers anymore. They're carrying the dead. And we're left with this awful question. How can the fragile peace in Mano Majra possibly survive when the next train pulls in?